Well, now we come to Israel Part 5, Geopolitical Israel. This is the one that you've probably been waiting for. The first three Israels that I dealt with, ethnic, geographic, spiritual, are very directly scriptural. This one, a little bit less so. We are dealing with the current nation state of Israel, established in 1948. Some do believe this is the fulfillment of Isaiah 66:18. Shall a land be born in one day? Shall a nation be brought forth in one moment? Perhaps. Here's my conclusion. Listen closely. Because the modern state of Israel, located in the Holy Land, it contains the highest concentration of ethnic Jews, and because it includes the land God gave to the Jews in the Old Testament, and because this land contains so much of the archaeological support for biblical history, and because spiritual Israel involves many future Jews being grafted back in through faith in Jesus, the Messiah, who himself was a Jew, I believe we should support the modern state of Israel. Now, this does not mean that we have to support all their political decisions any more than proudly flying the American flag means we support all the political things done by our government in Washington. For example, geopolitical Israel today supports abortion. We should not support that. If they do something militarily that's evil, we should oppose this just like we would here in America if our leaders do something immoral. That's why being involved politically is important through voting, running for office, maybe serving on a school board, etc. Now remember, the prophets of old in the Old Testament were very pro Israel. In that time, it was a nation state in a sense, and yet they confronted many of the evil rulers who made bad decisions politically. Most of the Old Testament is Israel having bad leaders and doing ungodly things. Furthermore, consider seriously the current state of affairs and ideologies in the Middle East today. What do most Muslim countries want to do with Israel? Destroy them. It's no secret. But Israel isn't out to destroy them. They just want to keep their country and protect it. And they have a right to defend themselves, especially in light of what happened on October 7th, 2023, when Hamas came in and murdered 1,200 innocent men, women, and children, took 251 hostage. I would just simply ask the question, even if you are against maybe the modern state of Israel, what do you think Israel should have done? What would you do if someone came here and did that to your family and community? Listen, I've asked some of the most loving, caring, compassionate moms I know, what would they do if that were done to their family? Oh, Mama Bear comes out. Now, again, I'm not saying Israel has been perfect and never made mistakes, but because the U.S. is their number one ally, this gives us the leverage to hopefully have a positive influence on them as they move forward. Furthermore, I have heard this argument, and I think it comes from Dennis Prager. If you disarmed Israel, but no one else in the Middle East right now, what would happen to Israel? Destruction. If you disarmed everyone else in the Middle East except Israel, what would happen to them? Nothing. One more point. Israel is one of the only governments in the Middle East that allows freedom of religion, and I think that is huge. So I do think Genesis 12:3, even though it applies primarily to ethnic Israel, he who blesses Israel will be blessed, he who curses Israel will be cursed. Even though, again, that applies to the treatment of Jews, I do believe that can apply to supporting geopolitical Israel today. And I think if you do a deep dive historically in those countries that have blessed Israel, or curse them, you'll find that verse has been honored by God. I actually believe that one of the reasons the U.S. has been so blessed by God is because of our support for ethnic, geographical, spiritual, and geopolitical Israel. Now, I'm sure some of you are going to disagree with me. That's fine. Let's have some healthy biblical debate. Feel free to comment below. Let us do, though, all of us, what Psalm 122:6 says, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Stay tuned for my final part where I'm going to kind of give a summary of the 10 reasons why I believe we should support Israel on all of those fronts. Again, thanks for listening. And if you prefer to email me, davidholt08@gmail.com.